Hello, welcome to another stream. We are kind of back. Oh boy, this was quite a week. I mean, you noticed it yourself. I was offline for a full week, and yeah, I already said this in the beginning of the stream because I believe not everyone will watch it all the way to the end. We will do a small talking session at the end, but yeah, I don't know if I can stream next week as well, to be honest. Like maybe on the weekend, but right now my schedule is quite packed. Like even this weekend, it will be hard to keep up because there's a lot of work to do. Yeah, it's a lot right now. It's just a lot. I cannot keep up. Like every hour I don't spend on work right now, it's like a lost hour. Like literally, I wake up, I work, and then I go to sleep. That's my current schedule. Like there's just so much stuff to do, and not enough capacity in my workplace. So that's how it is right now. That's how it is. I made some space so we can hopefully stream some games this weekend. But yeah, afterwards I will probably be completely offline from the channel and other Vizora things. But yeah, we can talk about this at the end. So if you are interested in those things, feel free to skip a little bit through the video. There will be, at some point, we will swap to another screen where we will talk a bit about it. But yeah, likely next week there will not be so much going on. I will very likely make a schedule for in 2 weeks, and then next week it will be more spontaneous. Like if I have time on a day, then I would be streaming, but if there's no time, then I will be offline for the day basically. So it will be more spontaneous. Likely there will not be streams during the week. On the weekend likely, but I don't know yet how much. This also means there's no meme day on Monday, but that's just how it is. There's not much I can do. I have a schedule conflict there anyway. Like I need to check on some stuff while we would usually do it a meme day. Yeah. So lots of things going on at my workplace. We can talk about it a little bit at the end. But right now, I would say we will just focus on the videos that we actually want to watch. Because today we will learn more about Magic. Japanese learning will also not be today. I really want to get back to it, but my brain is like permanently fried. Like every time I finish work, I go directly to sleep. Or I'm just done. Like I'm just sitting there and watching the mountains. Yeah. So, yeah. Right now, we have 3 videos in front of us. As per usual, everything is linked in the description. So if you want to watch the video by yourself again, or if you want to watch a video completely by yourself, you want to share it with your friend, give it a like, find other videos that might be similar, or I don't know. You want to check out the channel, give them a subscribe, a like, whatever. Then you can do that. Everything is linked in the description. You just need to click on it, and then you will go to the videos. And yeah, we have 3 videos. The first one is the most terrifying, oh my god, the most terrifying depiction of magic in manga, which sounds really interesting. Then we have why magic systems don't feel magical. This, I think it's more about games or about how magic feels in movies or stuff like that. I'm not really sure. Like the thumbnail didn't really give it away. But yeah, the third video is magic systems should be weirder. So yeah, the last 2 videos I think are more about gaming, might not be more about gaming, might be about books. I have no clue. But yeah, the first video at least is about manga. And the thumbnail, you can see it in my thumbnail, is a little bit wild. It's a little bit wild. So I'm interested how it will actually be. Especially because it says it's vile. We might get some interesting perspective into magic. And I mean, that's something that everyone is interested in, right? Everyone kind of likes magic. Do you like magic? I like magic. Yeah, it's magic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. I will not. I'm getting distracted by work messages. Oh my god. Wait. Should I close this? I don't know if I should close it. I think I will just ignore it. It's okay for now. We can spare hopefully this 1 or 2 hours for ourselves. Yeah, okay. Anyway. The most terrifying the depiction of magic in manga.
Have you ever experienced the paradox where you started to doubt the dreams you were chasing? A cruel realization that you almost wish that it just stayed a dream? Well, this manga is kind of like that.
Okay. Whoa! Wait. Is this the manga or is it his normal intro? This looks super cool. I love when manga pictures are moving. Wait, isn't this... Nah, never mind. I was thinking of Black Clover, but it's probably not Black Clover. Okay. What's happening? Dramatic.
Witch Hat Atelier presents this paradox in a very discreet way.
I
often hear and see people talk about how wholesome and cute this story is, which isn't wrong. It can be very wholesome and cute, but there's an unsettling side to the story that made me start questioning this reality. What started off as me saying, you know, that's low-key fucked up, an average of some numeric value that I don't have per chapter, started to just become, no, this is actually fucked up. So I think the best way to grasp where this paradoxical idea of mine comes from is by first telling you about another story involving a paradoxical idea of mine comes from.
He looks,
is by first telling you.
I mean, this is the anime, but in the manga he looked way more terrifying. Look at him. In the manga he looks way more terrifying than here. Like, look at this and look at that. I like the manga version more. Looks more
about
terrifying.
Another story involving
but maybe
a
it's just the
piece of
perspective.
Shit who
Maybe
goes
it will
by
change.
the name of Tantalus.
Oh, damn.
Tantalus was a king among mortals, born from the gods, and because of this, he was welcomed at the table of Olympus to dine with them. He enjoyed listening to them share.
Because they're naked. Are you naked right now? I shouldn't ask things like that. That's a wild question. I'm sorry.
Their divine secrets.
Oh, hello. Wait, actually, let me move my OBS a bit. Hello, Karin-sen. How are you doing today? How is it going?
And knowledge. But eventually, he grew a lust to know more from them. And so, King Tantalus's hubris led him to plan an act of deception by killing his own son and serving him as a meal to the gods in an attempt to test their omniscience.
Eren Yeager. Oh no, wait, it was not Eren Yeager. How are you? I'm fine. Lots of work to do. But overall, okay. Good, thanks for asking. Yeah. That's good. Nice.
They weren't fooled. They quickly became aware of the gruesome act and banished King Tantalus to Tartarus. There he was in perpetual...
Wait. What was Tartarus again? I remember it from somewhere. What was it again? It was a book of... No, this is fairy tale, isn't it? No. I don't know. I have this name in my mind somewhere, but I don't remember where exactly it was. Good to hear that you are good. Yes. Overall, we are good.
Thirst and hunger while being constantly surrounded by water that would recede as he bends down to quench his thirst, and low-hanging fruit on a branch that would pull away when he tried to alleviate his hunger. Tantalus is
Was it
the
an epe?
reason the word tantalize exists, which means to give someone hope only to disappoint them by not giving what you appeared to offer.
Oh,
Which now leads us to the question
that's
of
crazy.
how does this present itself in what I call the
What?
Witch Had a Telly paradox.
The paradox. Okay, what's the paradox? I love the animation.
The story follows Coco, an ordinary little
Coco?
girl who absolutely adores magic because of a sketchy witch who sold a supposed wand, a picture book about magic, and a dream to her. A dream to one day become a witch herself. But
Damn. So is your stream doing today? We are doing fine. We just started. I already explained that we will stream a bit during the weekend, but next week likely there won't be streams during the week because of work. Like right now it's just a lot of work. Like I literally had days where I woke up at 6 a.m., worked through the full day, through the night, and then the next working day as well. Just to finish things up. So it's a little bit crazy right now. And there's no time for stream. But I hope it will calm down soon, to be honest. Like, I don't think I can last longer than a month like that, to be completely honest. But we can talk about this at the end of the stream, so we don't have it right in the middle of reactions. Yeah. But yeah, overall, we are doing fine. We will probably stream more spontaneous next week. But let's see how it will go.
for her,
I might make some time for more reaction content. I mean, I have to record it anyway. First in the weekend. Oh my god, my brain. I have to record it first during the weekend, but I might have time to, or make time to record it. Let's see. I mean, reaction content usually is quickly recorded and quick to edit. You know, like sometimes you have to cut a little bit because, I don't know, the video is stuttering, then you cut this out, you go back and you have to find it. Like you go slowly through the content to see where the seconds were missing, and then you cut this out. But since I'm doing full VOD uploads on YouTube, there's not much to edit. I don't have to deal with copyright that much. I mean, everything is censored as per guidelines. So I don't really have to deal with it that much. Sometimes I still get notifications because obviously you use it as the title and stuff like this, but it's not that bad. I mean, you are usually easily able to counter it by saying, hey, but everything is censored. It's just the title of what we are watching. It's a public entity. Like you can use the term, I don't know, you can use the term bleach in your title to show what you are doing or what it is about. So yeah,
her entire life she was told and even understood that she would never be able to use magic, because in this world you can't just become a witch, you have to be born that way. One day while helping her mother at their shop, Coco meets a witch named Kifri who ends up offering to fix a carriage that broke. But
wait, who's the witch?
mother at their shop, Coco meets a witch named Kifri who ends up
Who is it? Is it this one? Can you see this? This one with the backpack. This is a witch. She doesn't. Well, okay. Well, then again, how does a witch look like, right?
offering to fix a carriage that broke. But instead of being able to see him work his wonders, Kifri asks Coco to do an important job for him while he fixes the carriage, and it's to make sure that nobody tries to catch a glimpse of him casting the spell. Coco said, fuck that, I'm catching a peek, and what she saw wasn't a man casting magic with words, but drawing it. This entirely rewrites the world that Coco thought she understood, and she begins to use the pen from the sketchy witch to draw magic of her own. Eventually, she spammed enough spells to get a basic idea, but wanted to draw them much neater. And so, she started to trace the magic in the picture book she got from the sketchy witch.
Oh no. Oh no, she's gonna summon something. She's gonna summon something. Oh no.
The spell that
oh,
Coco
no.
drew turned her mother to stone and jeopardized her memories being erased by Kefri, as it's the one great rule for witches to hide the fact that anyone can use magic. But as a secret exception to help save her mother, Kefri lets Coco keep her memories so she can study magic and live out her dream.
That's actually a good way of hiding it. Wait, maybe you should not ask someone to, you know, make sure that no one is looking. You should actually make... Can you use a spell which, you know, locks everything out so that you can peacefully practice your magic? Isn't there a spell? There should be a spell to lock everything out, or, you know, making a space around you invisible. I don't know.
Of being a witch.
Damn, Coco is a witch now. Crazy. Crazy things are going on over there. The magic dilemma. What is the magic dilemma?
Next to those giant fire-breathing aerial lizards that we call dragons...
Did he just call me a lizard? What the hell? I'm not a lizard. You are a lizard.
Magic is probably the world's most...
I'm not a lizard. Can you see that I'm a dragon?
Universally understood fantasy. I mean, in every mythology, folklore, and fantasy-based story, magic exists in some way to aid an individual.
Wait, this is another anime. What was the name? The one with Rudy. Was it Rudy? I forgot the name.
Community, in which had Atelier, magic is taught to be a tool that innovates life and creates joy, and unironically the magic system that Kamome Shirahama creates for the story.
Okay, it's the name of the mangaka.
Is probably one of the most innovative concepts that is so well thought out that you, yes you, every single one of you beautiful human beings, excluding Dylan, can literally identify what a magic circle will do based on its 3 building blocks. The middle sign is called a sigil and determines the element of the magic. The arrangement of signs around it determine how the magic will be expelled, and closing the circle that surrounds all of that will activate the magic. But that's just the basics. So let me tell you how deep this shit really goes. With advanced spells, you can use a connecting line between magic circles to link them and change the potency as many times as you want.
But when you close, does that mean you don't close the circle until the end? You just leave it open a bit, and then once you finish, you quickly close all the circuits? Or how is it supposed to work? Or do you have to follow a specific order?
Or completing the circle on a separate object so you can toggle the magic on and off, or creating smaller magic circles within a big one to combine their effects. And to think that this is just the surface of what people were able to identify in the series thus far is actual insanity. Holy fucking shit, do not let me draw ever again.
Yeah, but this looks cool.
This magic system is very different from others.
I like it, actually.
I mean, you quite literally have the ability to understand what it must feel like to craft your own magic. Obviously, you're just going to get a piece of paper with some fucking doodles on them if you try to, but that doesn't stop you from having an idea of what the magic circle you drew might do. You're straight up handed the ability to grasp its endless possibilities and understand what this story means when they say that magic exists to innovate life and spread kindness. Except endless possibilities also mean...
There's but it's the same with every tool. Every tool originally was made for, you know, helping you, to assist, to make your life easier. And then at some point someone was like, you know what? What if we use it to make someone else's life horrible? Let me think of a good example. Knives. I think knives are a good example. And, you know, you need a knife because you need to cut things so you can eat something. You know, you can build something. You can cut things so you can decorate your room, for example. But it's a tool. So you can't do anything with it. If you throw it on someone, then probably this person is gonna be really hurt. You know? And it causes harm. It's not helping anymore. Well, maybe it's helping you if it's your intention, but every tool has always a good side and a bad side. It always depends on the user how to use it.
The opposition of what we're told exists, and out of everybody, Coco is one of the few people who understands that most. Forbidden magic are spells that exist for the intent of harm or personal gain, teleportation spells without a vehicle or door, spells that are explicitly used as a weapon, and any spells used directly on the body or even written onto the body, including those that heal, are considered forbidden and are taboo in the world of witches, with the only exception being the spell to make people forget. Magic is a tool of manipulation. As much as it's preached to be used as a tool for good by those who want to protect the stability of the world, that inherently comes with deceiving people. In fact, there's plenty of unfortunate examples of this in the real world. They don't call them magic tricks for the fuck of it. They call it that because deception is the foundation of magic.
Yeah, that is true.
Very well, I thought. It's sleight of hand. To explain the tricks to you would give you one solution, but it wouldn't give you all of the solutions.
In this story, when magic is used with seemingly good intent, it's usually mixed with some ulterior motive and by people you would least expect or even forget about because of how much optimism they shine on the story. There's an incredibly impactful moment where Coco feels like she's out of options and starts to make her way to the Tower of Tomes, a place that Kefri mentioned to keep logs on every piece of knowledge that exists. And that's where Coco hopes to find a way to save her mother. Eventually,
she wants to use healing magic, but this was forbidden, right? But why is it forbidden? Maybe because people can find out that everyone can use it that way? Or is it forbidden because it's having side effects that you cannot control? You know? I don't know. Like, what's a good example? Full Metal... Nah. Oh, is it? Maybe a little bit. I mean, you call it equivalent exchange, but it's not really an exchange. It's an offer, technically, you know. Because obviously you need energy to create. You can also use it in real world examples, now that I notice it. In the alchemy as well, like, or even in science, like atoms. Like, you need so much energy to, you know, work on this that it's technically it's not worth it to do those things. Even water. Do you know how much energy is required to give you one glass of water? One clean glass of water? It's insane. It's actually insane. Like, you would not believe me. Because, like, okay, so how water is being made that you get, you know, out of your sink, or how it should be made, let's say it like that, is that it goes into those big factories. Can you call it factory? This big building. And in this building you have a lot of processes which kind of work like how nature would filter water to make it drinkable again, you know, groundwater. And I think it's 15 or 16 processes that it has to go through until it's drinkable. Even if it looks normal, you can usually not fully drink it because there's still bacteria, there's still this thing inside, there's still that inside. So it gets filtered through like a lot of processes. And then either it needs to be storage somewhere, and then afterwards it needs to go to you. So probably for like a little bit of water, it requires so much effort to, and so much energy kind of wasted, and so much money as well being used just for this one glass of water. It's actually crazy. So yeah, there's no, what did I wanted to say? There's no fairness, there's no equivalent exchange happening. Like, it might seem to you like it's easy to do, but in reality it's a really complex process. I think that's what I wanted to say. I don't know. I lost track of myself, but it's fine. At least you learned something. Now you know how water is getting out of your sink.
Kifri finds her, tells her everything is going to be alright, and tries bringing her back. But that's when we learn about how conflicted Coco's become with her entire journey of magic so far.
The more I learn about magic, the more uneasy it makes me. The more I study, the more things I'm told I mustn't do. What if no matter how hard I try, my work never pays off? I worry that when my hands fail to find hope, when they end up grasping at thin air, that I just might begin reaching for things I shouldn't.
Damn.
What follows this is Kifri explaining how although magic is something that manifests hope, it itself is not the answer to every solution. The avenues for hope exist in the mind of a witch. Magic only thrives when a witch is able to put pen to paper in imaginative ways, and that's what makes magic magic. You see, I loved everything about this moment. It was wholesome, inspirational, served as a real tipping point in Coco's character, while also making me realize how almost every single thing that's said in this manga makes you really start to think, who's lying?
What do you mean? Who's lying? Are they lying to each other?
Kifri is an incredibly complicated fellow. He's got drip, is chill as fuck, can be badass as fuck, and more times than not, he is the ideal mentor. But because of that, I also think he is the most unpredictably deceptive character in the series by far.
Oh my god. You would not believe what is happening when... Okay, can I tell this? No, I will not say this. Never mind. Forget what I just said.
Very moment Kifri was introduced and so forth, he was shown to have a side to his character that acted independently from everyone. A side controlled by radical emotions so strong that he even distrusts his best friend. Despite this, he actively is showcased as an incredibly good-willed person, with how he carries himself, the way he mentors his apprentices, and even his judgment on morally gray situations. It's really hard to not think that he's just a good guy. Except when you pair that with his suspicious mischief behind the scenes and monologues of inner doubt, it just creates this constant unease. Like, is he genuine? Is he selfish? Does he care? Does he not care? Like, what's this guy's deal sometimes? One moment he's the coolest motherfucker ever, and then the next he looks like he's willing to sacrifice an entire litter of soft kittens for a half-eaten cheeseburger. But Kifri isn't the only person in this manga that makes me feel severely conflicted. As the story further progresses, this duality in characters either develops...
What if he's the one forbidding other people to use specific spells because they are limited to users, and he is using them himself, and he doesn't want others to use it because it would mean that his spell is being weakened? Maybe this... Wait, yeah, what is the power source of this anyway? Like how, like you just draw something and then it appears? What is the power source? That's a good question, actually. Like, where is it coming from?
And others, or begins to present itself more blatantly.
Chapter 51? What?
Every single character is as
How long
volatile
is this
as
anime
the magic
or
that
this
exists.
manga?
This story that was once filled with vibrantly magical moments that words couldn't even begin to describe are now just periodically euphoric moments that are, or bound to be, shackled in sorrow. It constantly keeps me on edge, and I'm always caught thinking about how these characters are unaware of what's below each other's mask. But as this thought came to mind, I started thinking about this girl at work.
What?
this plumpy, short, middle-aged white lady that I'd see here and there as I day in and day out do the bare minimum of labor while my sanity is begging for my shift to be over with already. And this lady is very jolly. Like, I swear that to every single person in the facility, she will give the same gleeful good morning with a slight chuckle after every sentence in response. This, of course, made me start concocting a ridiculous hypothesis on if this lady has some sort of underlying hatred against the world that she wants to hide from people. Why do I think like that? What the fuck? But maybe she's genuinely just a happy person, and I'm a piece of shit for assuming that, which is probably more accurate, to be honest. Just like how this guy can be seen as a piece of shit for assuming that this guy is associated with some objectively bad witches because of the magic circle tattooed on his chest. However, we actually
know that... So there are bad witches after all. Okay, so it just... So you have... It's like you have good witches and you have bad witches. And the bad witches are using forbidden spells all the time, and they are, I don't know, living by themselves? Or are they alone? I don't know. Are they getting killed because they are using it?
That he's a regular person who travels as a bard to make people smile. So this magic circle on his chest, he's clueless of its origins or properties. But with context that felt entirely random before the fact, you know that it's a regularly used spell repurposed for something unknowingly sinister. Because of this tattoo, Dogdon is in a perpetual state of refreshing the moment he dies. Over and over again, he makes new memories only for them to cease to exist. Again and again, he's brought to good health, eventually succumbing to the same brutal wounds. And
what? No, never mind. I was just overthinking it. I was like, what if he tried to become, you know, I was talking about side effects. What if the side effect of a immortality spell is that you keep forgetting and keep dying? You know, it's like a paradox, but it would make sense. The side effect is that you will stay alive, but you keep dying, you know? It's like a paradox itself, and that's why you keep forgetting how you died. Something like that, I don't know. It's a paradox, but it would make some sense, and it would be a punishment. And a good reason why this spell is forbidden. Because you keep dying, and you cannot do anything against it. That's why people forbid it, because they were like, yeah, that's a spell you should definitely not use.
And death after death, he searches for Kustis just to see him cry over his dying body once more. It's really fucked up. Not his fault, and was only casted on him because Kustis wanted to save his life. But because he violated the witch's law, he's not questioned. He's just treated as a dangerous criminal. I mean, this guy is not harming anybody. Not anyone innocent, at least.
Save my guy.
This knight heard some music while off duty, locked the fuck in, found the source of the song, and was like,
this song?
"You fiend! Step away from the children and put that lucrative weapon down! It's a fucking loot, buddy." And that's not even the worst part about this whole thing.
Hell?
It's the fact that this guy is gay. No, being gay is not the worst part. Gay people are cool. That's why it's the worst part.
I got stunned. I was like, what? What just happened?
He's actually a really good guy, but we only figure that out after he gets the short end of the stick. Every single time I chose to turn to the next chapter, to the next page even, I became more and more conflicted with just the smallest of side plots. And eventually I realized that for me, this manga didn't only manipulate its characters, it also manipulated me. It toyed with my emotions by what I can only describe as a triple pump fake that gets fallen for every time. How is a manga able to do that? Anyways,
I don't know.
I think the main source of every conflict in this story, both figuratively and internally, is created because of the great law among witches. This grandiose law is meant to be the solution to an age of hurt caused by magic, when all it's really done is flare up more problems and be used as an excuse to not save people. Objectively, the restrictions that exist because of this law is dumb as fuck. It's basically like cleaning the floor by sweeping all the soot and dust underneath the couch, except it's been done throughout multiple generations under that same couch. In which hat, it's erasing the memories of people at every minor inconvenience in order to keep the slate of people who know about magic clean. And after generations of...
So he's just running around looking for people who know magic and erasing their memory? What the hell?
Of neglect, it's become the reason why Coco's ideation of magic is not what she believed it to be. The law meant to protect people robbed her of her childhood and her mother.
Oh. Damn.
You see, magic is the temptation that Tantalus seeked from the gods, but the result of this curiosity was low-hanging fruit and water before his feet that would recede as he'd reach for them. And for Coco, the fruit and water that's all around her is magic that can save her mother, but any attempt to reach for such magic is impossible. In the manga, Coco is still about 12 years old and is forced to be more than just a 12-year-old against some of the wisest witches. Just like how magic fuels manipulation, that wholesome outline blinds the fact that this story is really about how a kid is forced to grow up, how magic is like a wildfire, how hope feels like nothing but a means to an end, and how fate isn't defined by what life you were born into. Rather, it's defined by how you choose to embrace the circumstances and live out that very breath. This, I think, is the true message that this manga tries to convey.
That's a good message.
Seems far from being something that'll have a conclusion anytime soon, and as a result, everything that's happened so far has felt bittersweet. But regardless of the awful circumstances, they still somehow end up finding peace in that. A peace completely separate and alien from the tantalizing existence of magic. Sometimes we look at things with this sparkle in our eyes, eager to one day grasp it for ourselves. Money, fame, achievements, whatever the fuck. But what I think this manga tries to say, and will continue to say as long as its story highlights that awe, is something along the lines of, hey, just make sure you don't get lost on the way. It can get rough. So sometimes it's good to acknowledge that the best things are already in front of you. And I think that's what led me to calling this strange conclusion of mine,
what's the
witch had to tell you a paradox.
Oh. Damn. Why is the video so loud out of sudden? Can you hear this? It's super loud. Why are you so loud?
Hi.
Damn.
Somehow you made it to the end of this video, and I appreciate you for that. I'm gonna keep this shorter than I normally do, and I'm sorry if I sound weird because I just got my wisdom tooth fucking yanked out of my mouth, all 4 of them. And I've looked relatively like this for the past 2 days that I've been finishing up this video.
I feel that one. I did the same thing. It was a mistake.
Video. And if my upload schedule leads you to believe that I am dead and I hate making videos, then there's this nifty thing called a Patreon that I have that you can join, and you will have access to a Patreon exclusive Discord server where I do give quite frequent updates. I do plan to do more with the Patreon in general, especially after this video that took me way too long for it to be a 16-minute video. And if you do, that means the world, and if you don't, that's okay. You're only just dead to me. And I promise there won't be as big of a gap for the next upload because I have actually been working on 3 projects as I've been working on this video. So expect them sometime within this year. I don't know. Also might be good to mention that you could possibly recommend me a manga and be a part of the next video if you can understand what the next video might be. Anyways, no quick whips this time. My mouth is sore. I'm gonna go. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Have you...
Thank you. This was a good video. Feel free to check out Kesu Kami. My goodness. Whatever. Kami, whatever. Okay, go over there. Anyway. Yeah, this was a good one. Now let's go to the second video, which is probably more about games, but we will see about that. The next one is called Why Magic Systems Don't Feel Magical by Tail Foundry. And yeah, I don't know if this will be about books, about series, about whatever. But my guess would be it will be about games. I don't know, but we will see. There's only one way to find out, and it's to click the play button.
In a lot of fiction, magic is pretty mechanical. Sure, it may be weird and volatile, but it more or less works how and when you want it to. Drink a health potion, your wounds heal.
Yeah.
Recite the magic words, summon the monster. Unsheath your fire sword. Fire. More or less predictable outcomes. Some stories even take that to the extreme and make an entire system out of their magic. This table you're looking at right now describes just one type of magic from Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series.
What the
Look
heck
how
is that?
intricate this is. And this is just a basic surface level breakdown. It gets far more complicated than this.
What?
As creatives, it's pretty easy to think of magic this way. A lot of fantasy authors do. But when you break out of the conventions of high fantasy and think more broadly about what magic really is, what we mean by using this word, a confusing phenomenon reveals itself. Throughout all of these systems, fantasy rulebooks, magical laws, it almost seems like the more you know about the magic you're using, the less magical it is.
That is true. It's always like that. The more You can think about it like 200, 300 years ago. Well, probably not 200, but more like 300 years ago. Like, if you would show someone your smartphone, the next minute you will be on the ground. The next 10 minutes you will be in handcuffs. And the next hour you will be on a stick, probably transported somewhere where people are either gonna burn you or throw you into the water. Yeah, but technically it's all science. Even light, like putting on the light switch, you know. People would call you a freaking magician if you would do this in front of them a couple of 100 years ago. It's crazy. Nice animation. What are these things? They're cute. I saw a dragon!
Got a really great idea for a story, but don't quite know how to put it all together? Well, there's a 12-part class you can take for free that I think will really help.
I'm sorry, I don't have enough time for that.
Creating unique and powerful worlds,
but I
taught
don't have
by
enough
many-time
time for
author
that.
and professor of fiction Lincoln Michel. Check the description to see how you can get access to it and finally get your story project going without spending a dime. A
Damn.
big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video and
Thank you,
giving us the
Skillshare.
opportunity to tell you about it. This class has been a really special
Oh,
one
it's
for me,
Avatar.
and I feel really
Is it?
lucky to get to share it with you this way. Definitely
I think
check it
so.
out when you have the chance. Here,
Oh,
let
okay.
me paint you a picture. Four
Thank
little
you.
hobbits, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin, have
Okay.
found their way to Lothlorien, the realm of the elves. They
Damn.
stand astonished, surrounded by the ancient and towering trees, the ethereal silver lights swaying from the boughs, the impossible depth of the night, the countless stars shining down on them through the leaves. There's not an elf in sight, but their magic can be felt everywhere.
Really?
Taking
Are they
with all of
hiding?
this, Sam utters that he'd like to
Are they in
see
the
some
fourth
true elf
dimension?
magic for himself, firsthand. And, fortunately for him, Galadriel, the Lady of the Wood, is happy to oblige. One evening, while they're staying as guests in her realm, Frodo and Sam are beckoned to look into what she calls her mirror, a mysterious basin of water which, according to her, will show them each a vision meant only for them. Perhaps it will show them their beloved home, the Shire, which they are so very far away from. Perhaps it will show them something to come on their journey, prepare them for when
The
they must
magic
once
eye,
again leave the
magic
safety of the
tower.
wood. It's a gift she's offering them, miraculous and powerful. But the two hobbits hesitate. They are only hobbits after all. They aren't used to such things, and Galadriel's power scares them.
What?
Did you not say you wished to see elf magic? She says, turning to Sam.
That is true.
For this is what your folk would call magic, I believe, though I do not understand clearly what they mean. They do end up looking, by the way, and what they see impacts their journey deeply, but that's not what I want to talk about here. What's always stood out to me about this sequence is this strange thing Galadriel says. This moment where one of the most powerful, magical beings in their world admits to them that she doesn't know what magic is. Something even hobbits, the smallest of all the world's peoples, understand intuitively.
Okay.
It's a fleeting detail in the 3 volumes and more than 1,000
The
pages which
Fellowship of the Ring.
make up The Lord of the Rings,
Oh.
but also one of the
I
most
have never
poignant
watched
to
this,
me.
by the way. I have a
because-
friend who is a really big fan, was urging me every time to watch all the movies. But yeah, so far I haven't watched this. So
I
far I
think
haven't
this is how
watched
most people see magic. Think of a magician performing a trick for a child. With a sparkle in his eye and a theatrical flourish, he removes his top hat. The child watches as he demonstrates that it is, in fact, empty inside. She watches as the magician puts it down on a table nearby. And then she watches in pure wonder as the magician reaches his hand in a bit further than he should be able to and pulls out a live rabbit.
Crazy.
Magic, right? That was magic. It had to be, at least through the child's eyes.
That
To
is
her,
true.
this guy just shattered the laws of physics. A complete impossibility. Hats aren't that
He's a
deep,
magician.
and a rabbit definitely wouldn't be able to live inside of one for very long. Everything she knows about the universe thus far tells her that what she just witnessed cannot be. Yet, there it was. Magic. For that moment, this child is a hobbit in the Elves' Wood.
Oh.
But, like Galadriel, the magician doesn't see it. Although he's the one
he knows
performing
the
it,
trick.
to him it's less magic and more trick. Because unlike the
It's under
child
the
watching,
table,
he
right?
knows how it all works. He knows about the hole in the table and the compartment
I
underneath,
told you,
just
I knew
big
it.
enough for a rabbit. He knows how
I
to push
knew
open
it.
the bottom of the hat to reach through. He knows that the laws of physics are, in fact, still perfectly intact. For him, there's no leap of logic, no seeming contradiction in the nature of perception and the nature of reality. He experiences no magic. Both
He
of
makes
these little
it, though.
case studies lead me to an interesting
Kind-
conclusion about the
kind of.
nature of this thing that we
Kind of.
call magic. It seems to me that magic is not just a matter of perspective, but also a matter of
You
understanding.
can also call
The
it
more empirical,
trickery, right?
rational,
It's a trick.
systematic it is in the mind of the beholder, the less magical it appears to be. The trick is just an illusion to the magician, but a breach of physics to the child. The mirror is just a powerful tool to Galadriel, but elf magic to the hobbits. Even the most mundane things can appear magical to someone who lacks context. Imagine if a creature
That
from
is
some
true.
tiny, isolated woodland came to visit your modern, industrialized world and started calling things like water fountains and mechanical pencils human
Yeah.
magic. As Arthur C. Clarke famously put it, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, a phrase underpinned by the idea that magic
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah. Like, imagine you would show AI stuff to someone 20 years ago. Just 20 years ago. Like, you would show it to them and would be like, you could sell it as magic. You could be like, look, I recorded a video of yourself flying through the sky. Look, I made it here. And it's magic to them. And you can sell them anything. You can just say it's... I mean, they see their face. They know they didn't do it. You know how AI works, but they don't. And you could sell it as... I don't know. I went into the future and filmed it for you. I went to a different universe and made this video. Or just like... I created my own world and filmed it. I don't know. You can sell it as anything. You know? Or you can be a magician who can transport himself to different universes. I don't know.
represents a
And you recorded the video for him to showcase it.
gap in understanding. But I also don't think that's the whole story. It makes sense to me that magic requires a gap in our understanding, but that also just kind of seems like a condition for it to exist rather than what it actually is. If not getting it were enough to make a thing magical, then every beginner at every task would technically be a wizard in training. Every student who ever failed a math problem or a science experiment would technically be having a magical experience. Think back to our magician.
Yeah.
What if he were to perform the same trick, but this time for an adult? He might wow them, sure, evoke a moment of wonder, surprise, curiosity, fascination. But after that moment passes, they'll almost certainly immediately ask themselves, how did he do that? How was the trick
That is true.
performed? They assume that this thing that they just witnessed works, that it makes sense, that it's somehow possible. Even if they don't get how it was done, they know implicitly that it was done within the laws of physics.
That is
Unlike
true.
the child, unlike the hobbits, the adult rejects the impossibility of what they've just seen
Damn.
out of hand. This time, when the trick is performed between the magician and the adult, there is not one single speck of magic. And that's because magic is not a phenomenon. It's not a thing you do, not an action or a
What is it
system or a
then?
set of laws. Magic is acceptance. The moment of true
Acceptance?
belief that you are witnessing something which, by your established systems of understanding, should not, cannot be.
Ah,
A gap in
okay.
understanding can make that more likely to
This
happen.
makes sense, yeah.
Because a smaller, less inclusive system is easier to violate. But the gap itself is not the magic. If you assume there's some rational explanation for a thing you don't yet understand, it's not magical, it's just thus far unknown.
Yes.
But when you accept that you've genuinely observed something that really does violate any model or system that you would otherwise use to explain it, that is magic.
It is magic.
And that kind of puts magic systems in a weird spot, because if what we've come...
Wait, I can show you right now. Look at the... Oh. Right, yeah, look, my sword is moving, but this is not what I wanted to show you. Ta-da! It's magic. This is magic. I can turn it on and off, on and off, on and off. Yeah. This is magic. No? Isn't it?
to here is true, then that means magic cannot exist in a system.
Oh.
Magic is fundamentally system breaking. That's what makes it magical. Of
Doesn't
course,
mean it's
we
OP.
also love a good magic system. We've done a few videos on them already, and we're probably going to do a whole lot more in the future. But if magic and systems are kind of polar opposites, that does make things a little awkward for these very explicit, systemized, hard magic, Brandon Sandersonian approaches to it. They are fascinating, spectacular. Narratively, they can do almost anything a softer, less structured magic system like the one in Lord of the Rings can do. Heck, sometimes they can do a whole lot more. But the one thing they can't really do, be magical.
Damn.
Any sufficiently advanced technology may be indistinguishable from magic, but likewise, any sufficiently advanced magic is also indistinguishable from science.
Yeah.
These hard magic systems, with their rationality and rules and detailed inner workings, are really a lot.
Yeah, technically everything which has rules is science in a way. Because there's a way to recreate it. I would describe magic... technically, I would describe magic as something which is not recreatable by anyone, you know? Like, in the sense of, like... that, like, you are probably one of the only person who can do it. Like my fire, for example, it's considered magic because not everyone can do it, right? I can make fire in my hand or on your hand. It's probably not something everyone can do unless they have tools for it, but I don't have any tools. But there are still rules to it. Technically. So, if everyone could do it, it's not magic anymore. Even if it's magical. Does this make sense? I don't know. But yeah. I mean, this is probably... I wonder what was the first kind of magical thing someone figured out it's actual science. Probably light, I would say. No? Back then everyone had only torches and stuff like that. And then the first lamp must be insane. Someone must have been like, whoa, what the hell did I just do? I'm a magician. But it was science, and now everyone is doing it, and it's not special anymore.
A lot more akin to an alternative secondary world science. The stories surrounding them tend to be a lot less about experiencing magic and a lot more about exploring the fascinating what-ifs these alternative rule sets enable.
Damn.
And it really is a blast to watch the characters figure it all out, turn these new rules to their advantage. It's a similar feeling to the one you might get when figuring out how to employ a magical power in a video game. It's not the wonder of the hobbits in Lothlorien or the child watching the magic trick we're feeling in these moments. It's the very real, moving gratification of solving a puzzle. But if you do want to feel that magic, look to less systemized approaches.
Okay.
Soft magic instead of hard magic, as some like to call it. When you leave the workings of these new rules and powers vague, when they're allowed to be a little less rigidly defined and a little more fluid, it puts the audience in a headspace a little closer to that of the child watching the magic trick.
Okay.
In Harry Potter, we're not following Dumbledore or Voldemort. We're following a child encountering magic for the first time. In The Wizard of Oz, we're not following the good witch Glinda or Oz himself.
I have never seen this movie. I'm so sorry.
Looking at this fantasy world with fresh eyes.
Never
Most
in my
of the
life.
time in Lord of the Rings, we're not following
I haven't
Gandalf or
watched this as
Galadriel.
well.
We're
I'm sorry.
experiencing things as a hobbit would, through
I'm
eyes which
sorry.
see elf magic as strange and rule-breaking and awesome. Enjoy world building. Enjoy magic systems. Enjoy finding clever ways to explain all the weird stuff that happens in your stories, but also remember that the most powerful magic happens when we simply accept that it cannot be explained.
That is
However,
true.
even an inherently magical world still has some rules. Being okay with magic just being magical doesn't necessarily answer the question of complexity with all your other world building, does it? It can be hard to figure out how this whole fictional world thing works, but fortunately, I recently found something that will absolutely help you. It's a 12-part video series called
it's
Creating
this one
Unique
again.
and Powerful Worlds,
I don't have time for
taught by
that.
many-time author and professor
I don't
of
have time
fiction,
for that.
Lincoln Michel. He walks you through how to begin your new world, what the ripple
he
effects of
teaching
that
me
starting
magic?
idea will be like across your world, how to create themes within your world, how to create characters to experience the world you've made, and
Okay.
then finally, how to put all of these things together. The prospect of creating an entire world can be really paralyzing, but it doesn't have to be. This
Maybe.
course will absolutely help bring the size of the task down to something you can really understand and manage. I can say from personal experience that it is
You?
so liberating just to have a roadmap for a project like this.
But
And thanks to our sponsor Skillshare, you can actually watch it for free. I personally would sign up for this course alone, but you also
Yeah,
get
me
access
too,
to
if I
thousands
would
of other
have
classes
time.
as well. Experts from pretty much every discipline have gathered there to share their knowledge and experience. There are
damn.
classes on creative writing, illustration, fine art, animation, graphic design, film and video,
What
pretty
the
much
heck? They have
anything you can
everything.
imagine. You can even join in on live classes, connecting with other creators and teachers while you learn.
Nice.
After talking to them about it, it seems like the people over at Skillshare can see why we're so excited about this writing class. So they've decided to give you the opportunity to experience it and any other Skillshare class that catches your interest for free.
But is it only
This
one?
month, the first
Probably.
1,000 Tale Foundry fans who join the Skillshare community will get not just the usual 15-day trial for free, but
Yeah.
a full 30-day trial. An
Oh.
entire month of free learning and expert guidance on all the creative
Crazy.
things you ever wanted to do.
That
Click
is
the link in the
crazy.
description or the link right at the end of this video to get started. And I would definitely hurry, because those slots are going to fill up fast. Once you've
Logo
finished this
design.
class, creating unique and powerful worlds, please come back and tell us the impact it's had on you as a storyteller. I cannot wait to hear the success stories.
Nice.
Anyway, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching and keep making
Thanks for
stuff
the
up.
video.
I'll see you next week. Bye.
They do this weekly? What? This is crazy. Crazy. Are they really doing this every week? This video is from 2 years ago, by the way.
A man finds himself.
Right. Yeah, it's once a week. This is crazy. I saw those videos also seem crazy. Damn. Full of magic and madness. Why magic drives you mad? If only I would have seen this video before. Damn. Yeah, feel free to check this one out. I will not watch it yet. I don't want to. Otherwise, you know, sometimes I go on the channels and I'm like, oh, I want to watch another video of them. But if I watch too much, it feels like I'm stealing all the content. You know, I don't want to have this feeling. I think it's fine when we react to one video at a time. But I usually try to avoid having a channel too many times. At least in one video. Like sometimes I have repeating them, like every 2 or 3 videos we have another video of them. But I try to avoid having them on each video. Yeah. Okay, but we have one more video left for today. And it's called Magic Systems Should Be Weirder. So now we learned how structurized, mechanical, unmagical magic systems can be. And yeah, now we will learn that there should be more weird. So we will probably learn a little bit more how they should be instead. I don't know. What could this be about? It will probably be about that they are mechanical, what we just learned, and then explain how they can be instead. I think the other video I already mentioned, they should be softer. And maybe we will go deeper into this in this video. That would be my imagination, but I have no clue. Maybe it's the complete opposite as well. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but let's get into the video.
Fantasy is full of worlds where people believe in magic, who use magic.
I like
Graham the
magic.
wizard who likes cats. People accept magic as an indisputable fact, which is interesting because for most of human history, this has also been the case, but often not the way we like to portray it in fantasy. I talk about writing and world building in fantasy because it's my job. I wrote a bunch of books on it, and you can actually pick
Wait, he's actually a writer.
these up at the link down below if you like these videos and you want to learn more, or you can scan the QR code on screen right now. It's pretty cool. I get to sponsor my videos with my stuff because of you. In fantasy, we can get so fixated on magic as a power system that we can forget.
Wait, we saw one of them. Wait.
We can get so fixated on magic
The first one.
as a power system.
I messed up. But we saw it. What is this? This is crazy. Oh, I didn't want to do that. What is this? Enhancement, transmutation, conjugation, specialization, manipulation, emission. Okay. Can I stop at the next one? Wait, I want to see the first
In
one
fantasy,
again.
we can get so
Come on.
fixated on
Show me.
magic as a power system.
Power system, yeah. Show me. Show me. We got it. Look at that. Table of aromatic metals. So what is this? Mistborn, god metals, temporal, enhancement, metal, key. Okay, so this is a table of magical metals and how you can combine them probably. Like each one probably has a symbol or just describing how you can identify them. And but this circle in the what? Full spring metals. Okay, I have no freaking clue what this is. This is an entire lore book right there that we have in front of us. Crazy.
That we can forget about it as a social phenomenon, as a way people think. Like, let me ask you a question. Is it magic to use garlic to ward off evil spirits? Kinda, but not really.
No.
People believed garlic could ward off blood-sucking mosquitoes, so why not blood-sucking spirits? The ancient Greeks thought maybe magnets had souls in them because they could move things around. And mercury? I mean, come on, that's gotta have some kind of power, and I'm sure we can figure it out by drinking it as many different ways as possible.
Really? Damn.
For most of human history, amulets were widely regarded as methods of healing and protection, but they weren't really thought of as magical. And then there's gemstones like hematite, bloodstone, red jasper, which all had some kind of essence of blood in them, concentrated. And so people thought they could naturally help with the flow of blood by grinding it down, and guess what? Drinking it. Silver was a pure metal, maybe associated with the moon, and so had other properties which were kind of associated with those. It's not as simple as saying magic was just primitive science, even though it did overlap with that. People historically felt they were surrounded by things they couldn't necessarily touch or see, but they could definitely feel that they...
This means magic is more about feeling instead of... It's about the feeling, not about the... No, it would be the execution. What was I about to say? It's about, I don't know. It's about the feeling. Yeah, whatever.
Knew were real. Think about plague or the power of time and rotting and rust, temperature fluctuations. And so they believed lots of things like garlic and mercury and magnets had invisible properties just as much as visible ones too. That might sound like a very soft magic system to us, but it's also a fundamentally different way of viewing the world. They had all these ideas about the natural...
Whoa! Wait, this is German! Adler, Löwen, Raben, Sphären... Wait, can I read this? Sulfur, Philosoph, Feuerwacht... Wait, this is a map. This is a map! Or is it? But sulfur is a stone. Philosoph is a title. Ignis? I don't know what Ignis is. Feuerwachturm. Feuerwachturm. Or house? Feuerwachhaus. Means like fire watching house. Adler means it's like a bird. It's a hawk. Wait, no. Hawk is Falke. Adler is the thing on the American flag. I don't know. Löwe is a lion. Raben is a crow. And Sparren is like a spear. Like a sphere. Fair, that's the word. Sanctum. I'm trying to read this. Oh. Der Wunderbogen Phönix mit feinen brennenden Federn. Was? Ergriff ein Bindeln. What the heck is a Bindeln? Das ander mit Gwen. Why are they using the words like that? Im dritten Bitch ein junger Hahn. What? The Phoenix is a freaking rooster? This makes no sense. Hello Alice, how are you doing today? I'm reading German. We got something German in the video. It's crazy. But I have no clue what is going on this paper. Don't ask me. Ich weiß es. Darauf treu ich. Multifunctionality. Crazy. Are we summoning a giant frog? I don't know what is going on this thing, to be honest. For me, first it looked like a map. But now it looks like something different. Like they are talking about phoenixes and roosters. So I don't know what's going on this one.
Qualities of things in the world around them. Trees, metals, colors, gems, often applying real things incorrectly where they didn't apply. So kinda magic, but kinda not. We can call this messy magical belief, and it was everywhere in human history. It varied intensely from place to place, even person to person, and yet magic in our fantasy worlds is often really quite simple in comparison. Not only in the shape our magic systems themselves take, but in the kinds of magic people believe in our worlds. And that's because world building and magic systems...
And it's in the previous video, someone was summoning a frog. And do you know what happened? The guy made the frog bigger. Then a dragon appeared, he made the dragon smaller, and the frog ate the dragon. Can you believe it? It's crazy.
From the ground up, where you, the author, understand how your world works, and you're looking at how these powers are going to impact politics and economy and warfare.
Some crazy things going on here.
It's a very different thing from normal people attempting to infer an understanding of their world from observations without much help. Basically, magic is complicated.
Really? I didn't figure that one out. A lot of
fantasy worlds have a strangely clear line between what people think of as magic and not magic, which wasn't particularly clear historically, but more fundamentally, they often lack a lot of this messy magical belief, which is weird because not only would this kind of magical belief still be around even if magic was real, but it'd arguably be even more common.
Why is everyone naked in this video?
Let's take a very clearly defined, simple, well-understood elemental magic system in bending from Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is a world where you can be born with the ability to manipulate the elements with martial arts moves. And here's a question. Would fire divination, real or not, be considered firebending? Fire divination is the practice of reading messages in flames and ashes and burnt wood, interpreting signs and giving guidance and prophecies. It's exactly the kind of superstition which would attach itself to firebending. In fact, it even appears in the show in the episode The Fortune Teller, but it's portrayed as this totally separate thing. The fact that firebending is real in this world and does have these sort of soft spiritual powers means this sort of belief would thrive. Or what about the idea that scattering ashes across your floor might hold water spirits at bay?
What? Why would you do that?
Or think about essential oils.
What's wrong
Would
with
that
the
attach
water
itself to
spirits?
waterbending? It's a kind of healing water, supposedly, and waterbending has healing powers. It's a common kind of messy magical belief.
It makes sense because your body is mostly out of water. So it would make sense if it can heal you, you know, it can fix the flow.
Even today, when people are widely educated, which is not
This can help me, but mysticism is kind of different. What is
the
mysticism?
case for a ton of fantasy worlds, which are low
Like
tech,
mystic
low
creatures.
education, low information, and there may genuinely be spirits from another realm interfering with the physical world who hate garlic. A lot of this is going to depend on how well your magic is
secretly summonings. Oh, I'm sorry.
understood. But all
I'm not getting a good frame. Secretly, we all know the summoning works because something is coming out of the fourth dimension into the third dimension. And they are like, oh, look, this idiot right there. He's trying this thing again. Let's go there and scare him. And that would be so funny. Mysticism is mysticism. Okay.
all these sorts of beliefs are going to naturally sprout from the magic that is real. Like pseudoscience sprouts from real science and blurs the line
What
between
the
fact and fiction.
hell is going on in this picture? Is this a lion? Is he eating a snake? What the hell is going on?
People will bring messy magical belief everywhere we can, especially if the world is full of other things that we don't understand, like
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
why does
Damn.
mint make your mouth feel cold, and why does drinking mercury make you feel bad? And all this is going to be especially the case if you have a
Mercury?
really
Why would you
soft
drink mercury?
magic system with kind of vague and unpredictable rules
Drink?
and limits and powers, but definitely
Wait, but mercury is a metal or not? I mean, unless you want to drink it if it's like super hot. Mercury melting point. Yeah. Wait, no. It's minus? What? What? I didn't know mercury's melting point. And boiling point are 300. Wait. So it's the opposite way. So if it's super cold, it gets... Huh? Okay, I'm confused now. So when is it in a normal state, in a stone form? If it's minus, right? Minus 50 or something. But if it's minus 30, it's melting? And if it's... Or is it when it's hot? Does it mean if it's hard when it's hot? Like, if it's 600 degrees, it's normal. But if it's 350, it starts boiling. And if it's minus 30, it starts melting? Am I stupid? It might be. I don't know. Maybe there's a paradox going on with this material. It's possible. Things like this happen sometimes in science. But for me, it seems really crazy right now. The sun meets the moon. What? The sun meets the moon. The yin separates from the yang. You know. Oh. Yeah. I know that one. Okay. You just discovered some crazy stuff. What's going on
real,
here?
giving just much more room for this kind of messy magical belief. And you might be thinking, well, a really hard magic system is probably going to be immune to a lot of this. But no, let's take Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series.
Okay.
A world where ingesting certain metals can give you powers, like 10 heightens your senses to a superhuman level. A very hard
Okay.
magic system. But I gotta ask you, what about mercury? It's
Why
about as
would you
close to
drink
a magic
mercury?
metal we have. It definitely impacts the brain, and people in this world know that most elementers can only digest one metal anyway. So maybe mercury is just a really soft and subtle version of this. It's an easy leap to make. Likewise, unknowledgeable peasants might naturally come to the belief that having a tin amulet might give you better hearing. I mean, it is absolutely a property of tin in this world. But I didn't see a lot of this messy kind of magical belief in the story.
I would not
we think
drink
a lot
it,
about how
let's
the
say it like
rules,
that.
limits, and costs of our magic system would change our world building, but rarely about what people would project onto the rules, limits, and costs themselves. The messy magical belief which would muddy our understanding of how the magic system works, but also make your world feel more alive and deep and lived in, because people are messy where our neat little magic systems often aren't. If your magic system relied on burning precious animal materials like ivory or...
Look! There's the frog! It's a frog. It looks a little bit weird, but it's a frog.
bird feathers or rhino horn, then of course people are going to take that and apply it to stag antlers and shark teeth.
Whoa,
I almost want to encourage you to
there.
have kind of like two sets of rules for your magic system. The ones which work, and the ones which people believe work, with all this messy magical belief, and to play with the ambiguity between them. We actually get to see a little bit of this in A Song of Ice and Fire, in the one chapter from Melisandre's point of view, one of the only characters in the entire series that we do actually know definitely does have some kind of real magic. 3 tallow candles burned upon her windowsill to keep the terrors of the night at bay. 4 more flickered beside her, 2 either side. The fire must never ever be allowed to go out. The red priestess closed her eyes and said a prayer, then opened them once more to face the hearthfire. Visions danced before her, gold and scarlet, flickering, forming and melting and dissolving into one another, shapes strange and terrifying and seductive. It was an art. Ryuwu spoke to his chosen ones through blessed fire, in a language of ash and cinder and twisting flame that only a god could truly grasp. She had a smoke for truth, a smoke for lust, a smoke for fear, and the thick black smoke that could kill a man outright. My spells should suffice. She was stronger at the wall, even stronger than in a shy. Melisandre's magic is real. There is actual power in fire, but we get to see in this little passage and a few others that there's all these other practices associated with it that she's kind of latched onto, that the followers have projected onto it, like the placement of candles, the use of powders, the fire must never go out, which people may have come to believe around this actually functional magic, but we don't really know if it really helps. And all of this is to say nothing of the messy magic.
But this was Game of Thrones, no? Or am I stupid right now?
People would believe in completely separate to your magic system, like garlic and gemstones. And by the way, I have 3 more chapters on hard magic and soft magic and how they intersect with world building and storytelling in Volume 1, while Volume 2 goes into hard and soft world building and how magic plays into all of that, which is really relevant here. I feel like I'm reading some fantasy stories, and I don't want to name names here, but they go, you know, this is magic in our world, this is our magic system, and this is really the only magic people believe in. They might have different, you know, interpretations of the magic from culture to culture, but this is the magic that there is. And that is kind of strange, because people are going to have lots of beliefs outside that. Like,
what is going on in these pictures? What is he doing over there?
you know, Vikings thought they were imbuing their swords with the spirits of the dead by burning the bones of their fallen in the fires they're using to make swords, but guess what?
Yeah.
They were making an early kind of steel by infusing their iron with carbon. People will still believe that sort of thing, and like wearing amulets or garlic, they might not even really think of it as magic, but just using the invisible properties of the world around them. Because the reality is, a lot of magic really comes down to humanity's evolutionary Pokemon superpower, pattern recognition. We look for things which look kind of similar to each other. We might call it natural sympathy. You're like, oh hey, bloodstone looks a little bit like blood, so maybe we could use that to ward off internal bleeding if we, guess what, drink it.
Don't do that. Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
So yeah, invent a magic system. Look at how it's going to impact your world building. But invent a magical culture that goes beyond your powers and limits and rules and whatever. And you know what? All of this gets even messier because the term magic itself is honestly a bit of a loaded term historically. We often use the term magic in fantasy world building as a catch-all for any otherworldly powers. Tell the future, healing wounds, shoot chickens with lightning bolts.
But sometimes we give it other names, no? Can I think of something? Arcane, maybe? And yeah, arcane. You call it arcane, but people still refer to it as magic. Unless you know it. I think. I don't know. Or do they? I don't know. Oblivion reference? I don't know. I haven't played much Skyrim, to be honest. Was it Skyrim? I might be I hope.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
But historically, the label magic was often a classification of legitimacy. We get a
I never really played it, but I saw that you can also play it in VR. I was thinking about maybe doing it, but I don't know. I don't wanna turn this channel into a VR only channel, to be honest. I still wanna play normal games in between. Like, we can do VR, it's fun. I like it a lot, especially because I can move there. No, I'm walking all day, so I'm not moving that much lately. And so I enjoy when I play VR and I can move around, you know, using my energy. And yeah. No, Akai, the Skyrim is the 5th game, the 4th game is Oblivion. God dang it. God dang it. Yeah, well, it's close enough.
a little bit of this in some stories where characters will like insist that their powers aren't magic.
It's not magic, it's water bending.
Magic being here used as a term to dismiss it. But like, let me ask you a question. Is prayer magic? Kinda, but we don't call it that. Saying I prayed for my home feels like a very different thing to saying, and with this incantation over my homestead, I invoke the power of God!
Damn. But it is true, it is true. Wait, does it mean everyone is a magician who is a believer? If you think about it, technically yes. It's okay, Akai. The silly Akai is always good. Okay, that's good.
Has generally started to move away from using the term magic because a lot of what old manuscripts describe as magic, which I've been reading for this video, were often just another person's religion or science. And historically, the line between what magic and religion and science
is going on here
was pretty blurry and all about perspective anyway. But in this way, the term magic can be an expression of power dynamics. Colonial powers would often label like indigenous rituals as, quote, magic. But again, it's not as simple as that.
I believe in myself.
Think about the garlic.
That means
people at the time might have been hanging this
nice.
outside their doors, not because it's like their religion or anything, but because, you know, that's what garlic does. It wards off spirits. But if someone was unfamiliar with that, they might point at it and go, "It's a witch! Magic!" Like, of course it's not going to ward off spirits. You need asparagus to do that. Sometimes the label was about calling people fraudulent. And there's been some extensive writing now, which I've been reading for this video, and you can see references that the term was often to describe inappropriate religious ritual. What I mean here is a woman might do the exact same real religious ritual as a man, but it might be inappropriate for her to do it because of her sex, and so they labeled that as magic, which itself did lead to the common idea that like women's magic is evil and wrong. And
that's where it's coming from. That's crazy and so stupid.
Sure, that had no historical consequences whatsoever, but even the term superstition, which we tend to take as meaning like non-scientific and irrational, was actually originally used to describe basically bad or excessive religious practice. Like, not necessarily having no power, not being fraudulent, but being morally questionable in how it's done. Like in the Roman period, there was a conflict between public polis religion in the cities and private domestic rituals in households, which were sometimes seen as competing with the public stuff. Think government orchestrated rituals versus privately praying in your home. And as this conflict escalated, people started to label these unregulated domestic rituals as magic because they were associated with being politically and socially subversive. What I'm getting at here is we often go, this is the magic system, and we draw lines through it based on the powers and rules and limits. You know, this is evocation, and this is divination, and this is necromancy. When sometimes what's classed as magic or not magic or something else entirely, or legitimate or illegitimate or natural or unnatural, which rules are really rules or which costs are really costs, these can be social classifications, sociological lines which are going to impact how the magic system itself is interpreted and used, as well as any of that messy magical belief which is naturally going to sprout from it. It's about how magic is understood as a concept in itself within your world, and I think that goes a step beyond a lot of what people do when they're world-building magic. And thinking about how certain practices weren't necessarily thought of as magic, but just dealing with the natural properties of the world, sometimes in fantasy, what is magic to one person might just be the natural abilities of another. This actually shows up in Lord of the Rings when Sam looks at Galadriel's magic mirror.
Everyone is referring to Lord of the Rings. I really need to watch it at some point. Like the Star... What? Like the Force of Star Wars? Yeah, for example, as well. I think this is also a good example.
She says, "For this is what your folk would call magic, I believe, though I do not understand clearly what they mean, and they also seem to use the same word for the deceits of the enemy. But this, if you will, is the magic of Galadriel. Did you not say that you wish to see elf magic?" Because for elves, their art, their craft isn't like magical. It's just what they do. It being unbreakable and glowing in the dark, that's not like a magical quality to them. It's just how they make things. This is again thinking about a magic not just as like systems of power, but as social phenomenons, even within the world. And I think this may bring us closer to the fantastical worlds we create. I started thinking about this topic after I was reading the Laknunga, which is this old Anglo-Saxon.
What the hell is even that? I can't even read the letters.
Manuscript. I don't know if I pronounced
English,
that correctly,
right?
but it was going through all these really interesting healing recipes and medicines and stuff like that. And the line between kind of like medicine and magic and science and stuff was really blurry and really interesting to get an insight into that culture. I've made world building videos on how like empires rise and work and fall and how revolutions really play out and death, how that impacts your world. I've got videos on hard and soft world building and magic systems, and those videos are great, but I can never be as in-depth as I would love to be with these discussions on YouTube. You know, with YouTube, I've got to be thinking about the algorithm and thumbnails and all this other stuff. And that is fundamentally why I wrote the On Writing and World Building series, so that I could take all of these discussions and put them into these easier to read and reference books and go deeper.
This is more than I ever read in my life, just saying.
And wider with better analysis and examples and way more exclusive content in here that I'm ever able to do on YouTube. Seriously, I wrote these books thinking, 500 people were going to get them. And then I was astounded because we've now sold like 120,000 copies, something like that.
Damn.
Each of the volumes stand entirely on their own, covering different topics. But if you only want to get one of them, I recommend getting the third one. I think it's the best. I think it's got the most as well. And there will be another volume coming one day. Of course, you can get all of them as audiobooks, paperbacks, ebooks, all you like.
I would probably prefer audiobooks. If I would read, if you can call it like this, something. I don't know. I like receiving the information passively, like by watching, by listening, not actively by watching. This no, by reading. Like I usually I prefer to have it passively and do something on the side. Active information perception usually is only for when I actively learn about something, like science stuff, like things you actually need to focus on. But yeah, I usually prefer passive things. And then I can do other stuff on the side, like walking. I can walk and listen to a podcast. The books are good for me. That kind of helps me with my fanfics and my Fuyoshi thingies. What is Fuyoshi?
Like these discussions, but you want to go deeper, then these are the next step. And thank you so much, because, you know, this is the whole other side of my career, writing, publishing. You can read my fiction, by the way, at the links down below, or you can pick up my book, Catalog for the End of Humanity, which has pretty cool world building in it as well, and also interesting magic. Or if you want to join the community more deeply, go on my Patreon, you can join our writing workshops. There's a Discord over there. We're always talking about writing and world building, all that sort of stuff. I'd love for you to join us. Stay nerdy, and I'll see you in the future.
Wait, that's the end? But there are still 3 minutes left. Written by Tim Hickson. Editing and graphics by Federica Lamarca. Marca? Thank you to all my amazing support. Oh, okay. It's 3 minutes of credits. And seeing the books that he wrote. Interesting. The rolling credits. Yeah, it makes sense now. Damn. I still wanna know what Fuyoshi is. Maybe we can, you know, I'm gonna look it up. It's the end of the stream. Kind of the end of the stream anyway. I still will talk about some stuff, but... Oh. That's Fuyoshi. Interesting. Wait. So, Fuyoshi. But how is this she? What does it mean? What? 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 Where did I land here? Okay. I will just close this window. And then we will go back to the rain ASMR. I think I also like rain ASMR. It sounds nice. But I never use any ASMR when I was sleeping. I prefer silence. Yeah. Okay, why did you do that? No people know about my private interests. Damn. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe they share the same interests. So don't worry about it. Don't worry. Damn. It's so many people actually. Wait, but why are the people on the right in caps and the people on the left are not in caps? What's the difference between the people? Or is he swapping the credits every video? Like in the next one, the one on the left will be the one on the right? I don't know. I actually don't know. There's so many interesting videos down there. Why overpowered characters are hard to write. Are we talking about One Punch Man? But yeah, I think One Punch Man is really good written. Oh god, I'm so tired. But the day is not over yet. It's far from over actually. It's far from over. Oh! Damn. Damn. Magic system paradox. Look, now we find so many good videos, but it's again from Tail Foundry. I don't want to abuse them. I don't want to click on 20 of their videos and react to all of them in one stream. Yeah. But I will close this one for now. Ta-dam. And we will go over. Yeah. Wait, why is YouTube not working? You know, it looks like I was talking to myself all the time. Okay, now it should work, hopefully. But that's fine. This also means people don't know you wrote this. Well, technically they know now because now I turned it on again. But that's fine. Yeah, we are in the just yapping now. This was really interesting. Learning a little bit more about Magic. I was thinking, I mean, our game is not out yet. We have one game which is kind of story based, which also includes Magic in a way. But this just gave me a thinking. I was like, this system could be way more interesting. And maybe also a little bit more easier to process. But I will not spoil anything. This is a spoiler-free stream for the most part. So, yeah. I won't do that. But yeah, in this section, this is the last section of this stream today. So we will talk a little bit more about next week right now. What's going on right now. Especially because we just had a week of a break. And yeah, I kind of already mentioned it during the stream, but I mean I had really long working days. Like working days, I'm pretty sure that it's not even legal. But yeah, I mean things needs to get done, right? Like I remember 3 working days. It was not in this week. It only happened one time this week, but like recently in the recent weeks. I had 3 working days where I literally woke up at like 6 or 7 a.m. I worked through the full day and then through the full night. And then I also finished the next working day and still did a tiny bit of more overtime than I should. So yeah, it's really hectic. It's really hectic right now. That's why there are there's inconsistency in the streams right now. It's okay, Akai, you did your best and you need a rest. Yeah. I just try to explain why there's the lack of streaming. I really want to stream right now, but I can't. It's bugging me. Like even tomorrow, we will definitely not play Bleach tomorrow, because Bleach will take a long time, like 6 hours, 7 hours, maybe even 8 hours of streaming, and I don't have that time at the moment, to be honest. Right now we don't have that time, so I will probably play something else. I don't know what yet. Maybe we will try something else. I was thinking of maybe playing some Osu, but I really need to check the copyright situation, because I have obviously a lot of copyrighted songs on Osu. So I need to check how we can do that, or if we can just do an unlisted stream. I don't want to, stream and then afterwards I need to mute 90% of the VOD. This is not how it should be, like, bugging you like a frogger. Yeah, like a frogger. But yeah, we will see. Like next week will be more spontaneous. There will not be a stream schedule next week. I will very likely, well, there will very likely not be a stream schedule next week. More likely I will work on a schedule that goes from the 21st of July to the 27th. And next week will be more spontaneous. Like meme day, I already know meme day on Monday will not happen. Like it's impossible because it's overlapping with my work. Like throughout the day I have a lot of things happening, and then during the time where there should be meme day, I have something I need to check exactly on that time. I mean, I kind of can talk about it, I think. I mean, you already know that I work with influencers. So yeah, I have to watch to check on our stream from another creator to make sure that everything is aligned with what we gave to him. So, that if something happens, I'm there and I can help out and not receive a random call during the stream, or having to go out of the stream for like half an hour to fix problems, or being notified afterwards that now there were issues and then other things need to happen for it. Like, that's why I need to check it. I need to be there and I cannot move it. So meme day next week will not happen. And the other streams throughout the week will be more spontaneous. If I have time. It will be really spontaneous. Like, I will probably be like an hour before, I will be like, hey, by the way, I have some time now, let's play this game. That's really likely how it's gonna be. Friday, I don't know how it will be next Friday, to be honest. It should be already a little bit calmer, but I say this every time. I will say, oh, it will be calmer, and then I have a ton of work. So I don't want to make promises at the moment. Your hard work is important. I can wait. So those inappropriate. That's nice. That's good. But yeah, I try to resolve it as quickly as possible, because obviously, technically speaking, it's my free time. It's just things need to get done. There's no one else who can do it. So that's how it is for now. Like, as far as I know, my company is looking for new people right now to expand, so that I don't have to do so much. And the same goes, of course, also for my colleagues. Like, everyone is overloaded at the moment. Everyone is putting in like 12 hours per day, 14 hours per day, 16 hours per day. So it's quite crazy. But this also means that business is running, We are getting a lot of work. We are getting a lot of requests. Means we are busy. We are getting a lot of money in right now. But at the same time, our time is also dying. But yeah, next week will be quite spontaneous. on the weekend, I will try that we will play some games. I cannot really promise it, but we will try. Like right now, I cannot tell how the next weekend will be. That's why I don't want to make the schedule, because I have actually no clue. So very likely on Tuesday or Friday, I might be able to say what we can do on the weekend. If we can do something on the weekend. But I will try my best to at least schedule in one stream. So we have at least one stream in that week. And then the week following that, it will hopefully be calmer. I will try to make space again so we can slowly recover our old schedule. Like, if it's not better by then, I will likely put in an ultimatum in my job as well. Like, I don't think I can, like, with the current workload, I cannot last a full month anyway. Like, it's impossible. So I will likely put it in an ultimatum of how much overtime I will do per day and slow it down over time so that I kind of know how much I work and I can give you updates as well on it. And yeah, I mean, worst case, I switch to another agency. Like, agency as not in Vizora, but in my work. But yeah, I mean, either way, I will make sure that things will become better and I can actually use my free time as I want and not with work. Or at least that's the plan. Yeah. So yeah, things are going to get better. Right now it's just a little bit unstable. But it will get better. It will get better. Like, I enjoy streaming as per usual. Like, I don't want to get away from it. Streams are a little bit irregular right now, but yeah, as I already mentioned, it will get better. We will stream more again in the future. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of games. I can't wait for GTA as well. But I'm pretty sure they will only release it on console once it's out. And then afterwards they will, you know, they will do other stuff. They are going to freaking... Wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure GTA will be released on console first and PC will be probably a year later or maybe even 2 years later. We will see how it will work. But I'm really skeptical because during the teaser, you saw footage recorded on console. So I was like, that's sus. Why do they show it on console and not on PC? Usually PC is looking way better, right, than on console. So this made me really sus. And I saw the GTA 6 teaser. So I'm pretty sure they will release console first and PC will come later. But once it's out on PC, we will likely stream it as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, things will get better in the future. Definitely. Worst case, I will switch agency. And yeah, I mean, you don't know my portfolio. But I would say I have a strong portfolio. Like, I think even if I quit my current agency without having any backup, I would probably be able to find a new one within 1 month. So we would be able to maybe enjoy or a full week of streaming, going crazy in content creation for 2 weeks, and then I will go back to work. Yeah. What about the medium case? The medium case? I don't know what the medium case is. The medium case is that I will stick with my current agency and from time to time we will just have irregular things. But yeah. I mean, overall it's good. I mean, I enjoy my work a lot. Oh, actually, maybe I can advertise. I don't know who is watching here right now, actually. Maybe. If someone is watching who is interested actually in influencer marketing, you know, working with big creators, like with big creators, like I'm talking about actually big creators. Maybe you should check your LinkedIn. There have been some job postings. I cannot dox myself. But there have been job posting for positions. Maybe you can just apply to all of them for influencer marketing. Marketing? Management? Is it the same thing? I don't know. Influencer marketing, whatever. You can work with cool creators like PewDiePie, for example. Actually, we work with PewDiePie or Markiplier or Iron Mouse. VTubers as well, yeah. Iron Mouse, Nyanas, Niji talents, but they are not, I mean, they are kind of in critics right now, so I don't want to mention them. But they are there as well, like Luca Kaneshiro or beloved hater of white people, Uki. Oh boy. So yeah, advertisement. But yeah, we really need people right now. Oh my god, I really hope we will find new persons really soon. So I can return to a normal schedule again. Yeah, I don't know how much time I want to give to my agency, but I have a 2 months notice. So even if I would quit today, it would still take about 2 months until I actually get out. But yeah, I want to give them the month to see how things are going. I mean, next week and the week after, and then if things are not better by then, I will just put in an ultimatum really likely and see if things are going from there. Yeah. So that's how it is. That's my plans in my job life. Well, not really in my job life, because it's also influencing you. Because, you know, if I work the full freaking day, literally, I don't have a single second of free time, then obviously I cannot stream. I cannot stream my workplace. But yeah, we will see how things will go. Either way, things will get better. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I kind of talked about everything. I made my advertisement. I informed you that next week might be really irregular. And yeah, I will try probably to make space tomorrow or the day after tomorrow to record more reaction content for next week. Maybe we can have our reaction week. And when I have time, I will still stream. Like, we have a reaction and a stream. Wouldn't that be cool? I just need to record, the Breaking Bad episodes. Like Bleach, you know, I already recorded some stuff. So, doesn't have to worry so much about that. But, Breaking Bad, I still need to record. I like the last episode you saw on the channel is the last one I recorded. Can we talk about armadillos? Those are cute, not cuter than froggers or kiwis though. What if you combine all of them? What if you have an armadillo who is small like a frog and has the fluffiness of a kiwi? Does this combination make sense? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Armadillos. What? ... Why ... Was it something terrifying or was it something good? I can't believe I got ... I remember a lot of people being ... I never know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I hope it's a good thing. I will interpret it as a good thing. I like to be silly after all. I live in my own world of not knowing what it means. But that's fine, because that way you don't have to worry about anything, right? Oh my god, you cannot see this. I'm seeing the sunset right now from my mountain and it looks beautiful. It's a red sunset that goes over the mountain view. It's beautiful. Wait. No, if I make a photo, I would expose myself. where I'm living. I should not do that. It's just an LS thing. Okay, that's fine. Oh my god, it's a beautiful sunset. Yeah. But this is a sign that I should end the stream, I think. So yeah, tomorrow I still don't know what we will play, to be honest. I still have to think about it. Maybe we will even play a game I'm currently promoting because I have it installed anyway. I don't know. We have to see. A Mountain Dew? I love the drink. Yeah, a Mountain Dew. Mountain View. Yeah. Yeah, I have to see what we will play tomorrow. I actually don't know. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, right. What? Nah, I don't have enough time for that. Never mind. Okay, forget about it. Never mind. I was about to say something, but I don't think I have enough time for that. Okay, so tomorrow we will play something random. We will play something random. Not Bleach yet. And damn, I still have to do this thumbnail as well. And on Sunday we will play the VR game, the Souls-like game. Let's see what we got ourselves into. I don't know how long the game will be. Maybe we can finish it, maybe not. But we will play the VR game on Sunday. Monday will be empty. Like empty. Maybe we can put in the reaction. I would need to record something on Sunday for that. I will see. But yeah, I will probably put kind of a reaction schedule like on up as a post. Like I will just write down what is happening. Actually, I can make a schedule post if we do it anyway. Yeah, I can post a schedule for next week actually. If we do reactions all week, I can do it. But I need to record first, so it will come on Sunday. Because right now I don't know if I have the time or not. But yeah, we will see. But in any way, you will get some content. Okay, let's hope things will return to normal soon. I'm saying this for weeks now, but let's like at this point I'm at my breaking point with my job, to be honest. So I will make sure that it will get better. If not next week, then the weeks afterwards. Wait. Next week it will not get better anyway, but the week afterwards. If it will not get better the week afterwards, after the next week, then I will make sure after that week it will get better. Okay, there we go. Okay, anyway, I'm talking too much, so thanks for watching. Thanks for standing by my rambling. And yeah, we will see each other tomorrow. And I don't know when. I will probably plan this stream at some point during midnight once I finish with work. Yeah. So that's the plan. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna end the stream now. I'm gonna watch the sunset and then I'm gonna get back to work. So yeah, Otsu Ryu, until next time. Bye bye.